Hey, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Happy Tuesday, everybody. It is your favorite legal storyteller, Natalie Pierre Lewis. Welcome to Who's Getting This. I am your host, and I'm also the owner of NPL Consulting LLC, a business formation firm. What that means is I help you get your business paperwork together, things like making sure you have your articles of incorporation, making sure that you have your contracts together, making sure you get your trademarks, just making sure that your business paperwork is in order so you can grow and scale with confidence. And I do that using your favorite celebrity. Okay. So if you are down for the ride, if you're ready to get going with me, I want everybody to give me a thumbs up in the comments. If you're ready for this ride, give me a thumbs up in the comments. Okay. So we are going to get right to it. I don't want to hold you guys. And plus, I have to get off of here pretty quickly, almost at 8 o'clock. All right. So this is our first story of the night. If you like ice cream, please give me an ice cream emoji. And then tell me what your favorite ice cream flavor is. So for me, I'm a very simple girl. I love a good vanilla, like a quality French vanilla. I also like chocolate chip cookie dough, cookies and cream, anything with like some type of chocolate mixed with the vanilla. But I want to hear from you guys. What is your favorite ice cream flavor? And specifically, what is your favorite Ben and Jerry's ice cream flavor? Okay. For me, Ben and Jerry's, my go-to is half baked. What about y'all? Anyway, but Ben and Jerry's ice cream has been around for a long time. How many of you guys have ever gone to when they have their free, they used to have their free scoop day, and people would stand in line for like an hour to get one free scoop of Ben and Jerry's ice cream? Anyway, Ben and Jerry's, they have been in business since, hold on, let me go here. They've been in business for 47 years. All right. And if you know anything about Ben and Jerry's, they were always very vocal about their activism and speaking out about injustices in the world, right? And they've been doing it for 47 years. However, recently Jerry in September left the company, and he said that he did that because he can no longer in good conscience remain with Ben & Jerry's because the brand's independence to speak out on social issues has been stifled under their parent company. So while Ben & Jerry's started as an independent company, at a certain point, they sold the company to Unilever that owns a lot of brands that we know. But Ben & Jerry's, they were still the face, right? Because everybody, Ben & Jerry's, the two guys. So they kept Ben & Jerry's as the face, but Ben & Jerry's has been owned by Unilever, which is also the same company that makes those Magnum ice cream bars. So he says that they had an agreement that was supposed to allow him and Ben to have autonomy to speak out whatever they wanted. He says that autonomy has eroded. He says that if the company can't live up to its founding values, it's not worth remaining part of it. Okay. He said he has to stay true to his mission of justice, equity, and human dignity. He said that the Ben & Jerry's brand, the activism was central to their identity, and he feels that their voice has been silenced or sidelined because of their corporate constraints, meaning because they sold their company to Unilever, because Unilever has the ultimate key to Ben & Jerry's now, they can kind of dictate what Ben & Jerry can be out there talking about on behalf of the brand, right? So Ben & Jerry's, they've had issues. They've wanted to speak out about the Israeli occupation. They haven't been able to. And even though their merger agreement said that they would still be able to continue their advocacy. They said Jerry says that those protections have been undermined. Okay. Now again, remember, Unilever owns Ben and Jerry's. They are also folding it into their new corporate structure under the Magnum Ice Cream Company. If you've seen the Magnum ice creams at your grocery store or wherever, your 7-Eleven, just give me a star in the comments, okay? Now, here's what Unilever has to say, okay? They're saying that they appreciate what Jerry's contributions, but they don't feel like they have silenced him. And then on the other side, Ben emphasized that legacy to be true to the value. And I think Ben is just staying there because he wants to at least fight and get Ben and Jerry's back where it was, but Jerry is like, you know what? We've been doing this for 47 years. I'm not going to have these new people telling me how I'm going to act in the company that I founded, and they don't stay true to my values, right? So this is what, especially today, brands, people are not just buying your product, they are buying into your values. They're buying into you. Ben and Jerry's, it's more than an ice cream brand. They have always positioned themselves as a values-driven entity, that they are activists and that they care about social causes, okay? And now that they are not allowed, or that they claim that they are being stifled by the parent company, they're like, we don't want no parts, okay? Now, how could this affect Unilever? Because people love Ben and Jerry's ice cream so much, because they like and a lot of people like Ben and Jerry because they are activists, this could backfire on Unilever, because people might say, you know what, y'all did Ben and Jerry's wrong. I ain't buying you stank ass. I ain't buying you stank Magnum ice cream, right? So Unilever has some, cleaning up to do in terms of their reputation. And then also, it's like you're trying to change the whole culture of Ben and Jerry's. Ben and Jerry's were like have always been seen as like these hippie guys who cared about social justice. We don't get that from Unilever. So Jerry's like, you know what? This don't fit my vibe. I'm out, y'all. So understand that when you guys are building your brands, right, there are core values that are associated with your brands, and that is what people buy into. So as you grow, you want to make sure that, yes, you're going to grow, you're going to change, you're going to elevate, but you still need to stay true to your core values. What is the mission of your brand, right? Because that is what people are buying into these days. But we wish Ben and Jerry's all the luck in the world. Like, I don't even know if I want to buy Ben and Jerry's now, because I didn't even know that they had been sold to Unilever. So now I'm thinking maybe I need to switch ice cream brands. Is anybody else thinking about switching ice cream brands? I know I am, but that's just me. Okay. Let me see if I can share this with them people. All right. So let's take this down. Let's take this down. And let's get our next story up here. If you remember Cabbage Patch Dolls and Garbage Pail Kids, give me a donut emoji and give me some stars over here on TikTok, okay? If you remember Cabbage Patch Kids and Garbage Pail Kids, give me, what did I say? Did I say a donut? I don't remember what it said. Give me some type of emoji to let me know that you remember Cabbage Patch Kids and Garbage Pail Kids. Now, if some of you might be a little too young for this, but that's okay. I'm gonna school you, okay? So, of course, Cabbage Patch Kids, they were these very popular dolls in the 80s. I had a Cabbage Patch doll. they had like these huge puffy cheeks. And the whole story was that they came out of this Cabbage Patch field, and you got adoption papers with your Cabbage Patch Kid doll, right? So they were all rage. Then later, a company called Tops came out with Garbage Pail Kids. Now, Garbage Pail Kids, they were not dolls. They were trading cards, okay? And they had, crazy names for the kids, like this one that's on the screen right now. TikTok and Instagram, you can't see it, but you can watch it on the replay on YouTube. They had Adam Bomb. They had, I think, Leaky Lorna or something. It was just like gross names. These kids were gross, right? But because it was so close to Cabbage Patch Kids, the makers of Cabbage Patch Kids sued Garbage Pail Kids for copyright and trademark infringement, unfair competition, and trade dress dilution, right? Now, Garbage Pail Kids, they said, look, we're just doing parody. Everybody knows that this isn't Cabbage Patch Kids. This is a parody. We're doing satire. So what's the problem, right? The problem was that in making the Garbage Pail Kids, they copied signature elements that you would find in the Cabbage Patch Kids, like their very round faces and their features, right? Which was on purpose because they kind of wanted them to be opposite the Cabbage Patch Kids. So that was the copyright infringement. The way that the dolls were designed, that is protected by copyright, as well as trademark infringement and unfair competition. They said that the way that they did their name and branding was very close to the way that they branded the Cabbage Patch Kids, which again could cause confusion and may have people thinking that Cabbage Patch Kids and Garbage Pail Kids are in cahoots, which they were not. And then the last thing, excuse me. And then, of course, in defense, the Garbage Pail maker said, look, it's a parody, it's fair use, whatever. The court said, no. The court said that the parody defense was not sufficient to outweigh the risk of consumer confusion. They're like, look, we understand that you think this is a parody, but the way that you have designed and marketed your Garbage Pail Kids is way too close to the way they design and market the Cabbage Patch Kids. So the two companies, while this happened in the 80s, they did end up settling out of court. But the Garbage Pail Kids, they had to make major design changes to their trading cards so that they could get around this copyright infringement and trademark dilution. Okay, so they had to change their logos from curved banners, thank you for the likes, to straight banners. They had to use more blocky letters. They basically had to they had to change the design of their trading cards because it looked too close to the Cabbage Patch Kids. Okay, so the lesson that we learned from this is, while parody and fair use, yes, those things exist, there are limits to them. Okay, you still want to strive for uniqueness and separate yourself from the original brand, not try and fold yourself up into it. Okay, plus the fact that the Cabbage Patch Kids, they were these dolls that were so cute, and loving, and Cabbage Patch Kids, and they got these dirty garbage pail kids. It's a dichotomy, right? So that was now, while that is a throwback, that is a very important lesson to learn out here, because people love to do parodies, people love satire, but there are limits to that. Okay, you had Cabbage Patch Kids. Oh wow, girl, I had one. You missed the Ben and Jerry story. I talked about Jerry leaving Ben and Jerry's. You're gonna have to rewatch. Okay, but do they even still make Cabbage Patch dolls anymore? I don't think I've seen one anywhere. But the Sour Patch Kids? What about the Sour Patch Kids? Sour Patch? I mean, that's candy. You know, Cabbage Patch Kids. Okay, so the difference between Cabbage Patch Kids, that's actually a good question. Cabbage Patch Kids and Sour Patch Kids, right? Cabbage Patch Kids, those are dolls, and they have a very distinct look. Sour Patch Kids are candy, and they don't look anything like Cabbage Patch dolls, right? You're not going to find Sour Patch Kids under toys. You're going to find it under candy. You would find the Garbage Pail Kids trading cards under toys, right? They probably are, girl. But yeah, so that would be the difference between going after Garbage Pail Kids versus Sour Patch Kids. Plus, I don't even know if Sour Patch Kids were around when this went down between Cabbage Patch Kids and Garbage Pail Kids. But you know, good luck to everybody. I know everybody's rich. I remember kids bringing them Garbage Pail Kid cards to Sunday school. Okay. Okay. So this next story, unfortunately, my TikTok and Instagram people, I would really like for you to see this photo, but I'm broadcasting from different. You guys aren't on StreamYard, so I can't. Why isn't this not? There was an issue with my file. What you mean, bro? What you mean, bro? Image file. Here we go. All right. Okay. How many of you guys use AI tools to design things? Maybe like posters, characters. How many of you use AI design software? If you do, please put AI in the comments. If you use AI design tools, please put AI in the comments. Okay. Now I've told you guys these AI cases, they're just going to keep getting bigger and bigger. Okay. So OpenAI, this is the company that makes Chat GPT and a lot of tools that we use. They have released something called Sora 2. Sora 2 is a design, is some designs, it's a video generation model. But this video generation model is being sued by the Motion Picture Association because they're saying that the images that it's generating violate the copyrights from studio films. So much like Midjourney, when we talked about Midjourney being sued because they were producing characters that were way too close to characters protected by intellectual property. The same thing is happening with OpenAI's Sora 2. Okay. What else? He says OpenAI X. So now OpenAI is now trying to I guess give people more control over their characters so they can make them look different. And they have acknowledged the problem and they're trying to fix it. But again, this is the problem with AI, especially in this landscape that we are working in now, where everybody has intellectual property. AI can only be trained on what already exists. Yes, you can add to it, twist it, but it needs a base. It can't create from nothing. So AI has to have some type of something to train it. That's why they say they have to train their AIs. What are you supposed to train it on, right? And this is the issue. So one of the AI companies CEOs said, if we had to get copyright and trademark permission from everybody to train our AIs, we would go broke. So the whole point is to protect people's work. While AI is a great tool and it is helping us be more productive, AI is also using work that is protected out here. So you as a designer, especially my people who use AI to design, you want to be careful with the software that you're using and make sure that the images that are generated, the videos that are generated, they do not infringe on someone else's intellectual property, that they are not like Y'all can't see it on TikTok and Instagram, but people on YouTube, you can see that these 3 photos of the man from The Godfather, Beavis and Butthead, and Charlie Brown. These are all images that were generated by the software, okay? These were not just gotten off the internet. Now, how did the software know to create these particular images? Probably because they were trained with visuals that contain those. So it is very important for my designers out here using AI tools. If you're going to use try to use your own. If there is software out there that will let you use your own, I guess, base images, do that, because that can get you, that will help you move away from these infringing images that are being generated by these AI tools. Okay. But yeah, this AI is getting crazy, y'all. It's getting crazy. It's getting crazy. For those of you who may have just come in, you are watching Who's Getting Sued This Week. I am Natalie Pierre-Lewis, your host. This is where we learn business and legal concepts using pop culture and celebrity news. If you are looking for an attorney to, bounce some ideas of for your next, for your business, for your next business venture, hit up your girl. I offer free 15-minute consultations. Okay. All right, we have another AI story right here. You may not, those of you watching, does anybody here watch Bollywood movies? The 2 people on the screen right now are 2 very famous Bollywood actors. If you don't know, Bollywood is the film scene out in India. They be doing like real cool dance, dance routines and stuff. It's tight. Right? So there is, or there was, I should say. Hold on. Let me find it for you. I like to sing sometimes. Okay. So basically, Bollywood is a very popular genre. There's like, what, 1 billion Indian people in the world? And there was an investigation done by Reuters. Reuters is one of the respected, news outlets out here, no matter where you're at. They found that there were a bunch of high water baby Lil. They found that there were a bunch of videos, AI videos that were, they were used to generate Bollywood videos using some of their most famous actors and actresses, right? And not only were they Bollywood videos, some of these videos were kind of risky, right? Which you don't find a lot of in Bollywood movies. They're like, while a lot of them are love stories, they're not getting down with the get down on screen. And that's what was happening in a lot of these AI Bollywood videos. So Reuters did an investigation. They told YouTube, hey, hi, Whitney. They said, YouTube, hey, you got all these AI generated photos. And not only that, 2 of the biggest Bollywood stars in India, they found out about this and they complained to YouTube. So they filed lawsuits to get these videos removed. And since then, YouTube, I guess they contacted the person who was running the website, and the channel has since been deleted. It was called AI Bollywood ISHQ, I think, but it's been deleted. They also, but this is the problem with AI, right? These were deep fake videos. The people being used in the videos had no idea that this was going on and that their images were being used in these AI generated videos. This is kind of the same problem that the Motion Picture Association is having with Sora 2. You're generating, images that belong to someone else. Just like in Bollywood, you're generating these videos using people's faces. They make money off of their faces, right? Thank you for sharing, Whitney. So they took down the videos. The Bollywood stars, they are suing. Who knows if they're going to get any money? But it is important for you guys, you know, if you see any of your work out here that is being misrepresented, you should report it. Don't just let it go. Don't, like, some people, like, here's what I don't understand sometimes. Sometimes people will have a legal issue and they will come onto the internet to complain when they should be going to an attorney or to some type of legal body. Guys, the court of public opinion ain't gonna get you no money. Okay. When you have these issues arising with your intellectual property, you need to go down to the courthouse so you can get yourself some dollars. All right. Tweets ain't gonna pay you. Instagram likes ain't gonna pay you. The court's gonna pay you if somebody is violating your intellectual property. Okay. All right. So good luck to them. You know, I'm so hot. Woo! From studio. All right. Next story that we are talking about. All right. I do not like talking about this family, but they stay in the news, which I guess is what they want. The Kardashians make an appearance at least once a quarter on this show. So, as you know, many years ago, a tape, a video was released that starred Kim Kardashian and Ray J, and they were, you know, doing some grown-up things. Kim K has always said that she never intended for that video to get out. Ray J apparently makes a lot of money from that video, and so does Kim K. So I don't know who's lying. You know, you're still getting paid. Anyway, Kim Kardashian and her mom are suing Ray J right now, or they have filed a lawsuit against him for defamation. They are accusing him of making false statements that they are under federal investigation for racketeering. Apparently during a TMZ special, Ray J said that racketeering charges against the Kardashians would be appropriate. He said that he's going to drop a RICO on Kris and Kim, and that the feds are coming. But he never said exactly for what, right? But he did this on a TMZ interview, right? And we know that the Kardashians stay on the blogs. So now they're suing Ray J for defamation because they're saying that that Ray J was speaking like it was facts, and that he wasn't speaking from opinion. He had no credible evidence, which is true because he didn't say what the crimes were. They're saying that the claims have caused reputational harm and financial damage. And they say that Ray J has long harassed and used sensational claims to draw attention to himself, motivated by resentment over his former relationship with Kim. So basically, he's out here, he's going to sue us, but he ain't say what he's going to sue us for. And he's just mad because he ain't with Kim K anymore. This is what the Kardashians are alleging, okay? So they want the money, of course. And they want Ray J to be held accountable for the campaign of defamation. Ray J has not responded to the lawsuit, but he is continuing to go on social media saying that he will not be silenced. The thing is, Ray J, you keep saying that they're going to be indicted on federal charges, but for what, right? And I can understand this, even though I don't like defending them. I can understand this on the part of the Kardashians, because the Kardashians, they live their, you know, they are spokespeople for a lot of brands. And if they have some type of rumor milling about that there is a federal RICO charge coming out about them, that might affect their contract, right? So, you know, they have to preempt this and at least, you know, put up a defense, because they don't want people to start believing that there is possibly some type of federal investigation coming against them. Especially, because think about, I think Kim K If you want her to promote something on her Instagram, to put up an Instagram post, it costs $250,000. Okay. So for Ray J to be out here saying that there's federal indictments coming against her and her mom and things like that, that could affect that. So you can't just let everybody talk greasy about you in these streets, because that could affect your money, right? So while I'm not a fan of the Kardashians, I understand why they would do this, because they have to protect their brand, right? Okay. But listen, Ray J has managed to keep himself in the news for I don't know how long. This man has not, he is always doing something. So one thing we can say, Ray J knows how to keep his reputation alive, whether you like him or don't like him. Okay. All right. Let's go to this next story. Y'all having a good time? If you having a good time, give me a thumbs up. Okay. Listen, I'm hot. I'm tired. I want to take a nap, y'all, but I'm here with y'all because I enjoy doing this with you. Okay. All right. Next story that we are talking about, my snackers. If you like snacks, give me some of your favorite snacks that you eat in the comments. Give me some of your favorite snacks. Okay. While you do that, I'm going to tell you about this trademark issue between a cracker company and a nut company. Okay. So there is a company called Karma Nuts. Okay. And they make prepared nuts, roasted nuts, nut butters, and nut-based snack foods. So almonds, cashews, things like that. There's another company called Karma Crackers. And they want to now Karma Nuts has a registered trademark. Okay. Karma Crackers wants to trademark the phrase Karma Crackers. And both of those are spelled with 2 Ks. So Karma has a K, Crackers has a K, right? And they want you to trademark it for soda crackers with seasoning. So soda crackers, they don't have a lot of flavor, but you can do a lot of stuff with them, right? So you got the company that makes stuff out of almonds and cashews and things like that. And then you got this other company that sells soda crackers, Karma Nuts, Karma Crackers. Karma Nuts already has a trademark. Karma Crackers says they want one too. Karma Nuts said, look, no, it's only room for one Karma snack out here in these snack streets, right? And the USPTO board, they agreed with them. They said that the dominant term Karma, it's identical for both of them. It's spelled the same way. And adding the crackers with a K, it doesn't really differentiate it that much. And it's a weak or descriptive addition that doesn't sufficiently distinguish their brand. So they need to make their brand more different. Okay. Also, because they're in related channels. These are snacks. Okay. They're snack foods, similar trade channels and consumers. You would not be surprised to find nut snacks and crackers on the same shelf, right? And because these are relative mixes, and because they're saying because these snacks are not that expensive, people, they're in a rush. They're not really going to take the time to read it that carefully, right? So there is a big likelihood of confusion. So they have disallowed Karma Crackers trademark. So they have to go back to the drawing board and figure out a way to make their cracker brand more unique. Okay, so it's getting harder out here, guys. A lot of people want to solidify their brands. So you want to make sure that when you're choosing your names, your trademarks, your logos, that they are very unique, that you don't base them on anybody else. You need to do your research to see what else is out there in your industry to make sure you're not stepping on anybody's toes. Okay. All right. Wow, we're going to be finished quick today. I'm proud of me. I'm proud of me. I'm proud of you. Guys, don't mind me. I just be silly. Okay. Okay. We went through all this. We went through all that. Oh, we have an update on the Daddy Yankee situation. Now, if you weren't here for the first couple of stories that we talked about this, Daddy Yankee, he was married to his wife for like 30 years, but they recently got divorced, and he is currently suing her for $100 million because he said that she mismanaged his businesses and stole money. And it doesn't stop there. Daddy Yankee is now suing her for, excuse me, yes, he's suing. He wants a declaratory judgment that he alone owns the trademarks for Daddy Yankee and DY. Okay. Um, the complaint accuses his ex-wife of challenging his rights. So his ex-wife sent a cease and desist letter telling him to stop using his own trademarks. They said that, and they said that it's had an effect on him being able to use his name in commerce. Now, remember, his wife was his manager; she was managing everything, right? So now she is claiming that she has ownership in his trademarks. Now, Daddy Yankee, he says he's been using the name Daddy Yankee since the '90s. Any rights, it was with his old company. Any rights from that old corporation were assigned to him after the company dissolved. Okay, and he's the only person using this mark in the music business. All right, so now they are asking court to say officially that Mr. Yankee, or his last name is Ayala, that Mr. Ayala legally owns and can freely use the names Daddy Yankee and DY. They also want his ex-wife to be barred from interfering with his ability to use those marks. And they want them to stop her from interfering with his career. Okay. Now, his ex-wife has not responded to this lawsuit publicly. But this has been a very contentious divorce settlement. It is ugly. But this is why when you are in business with your loved one, I always tell y'all, I don't care if it is your wife, your child, your mama, your pastor, I don't know, I don't care who it is, whoever you're going into business with, you have to have contracts written out and understand what everyone's roles are and what they're entitled to. It will save you a lot of trouble in the long run. Okay. So good luck to Mr. Yankee. Okay. All right. I have okay, and a quick story that I wanted to tell you guys about. I don't know how this is going to affect us, but there is a satellite office for the USPTO out in Denver, Colorado, and it has closed. Why has it closed? Because of the government shutdown, and they were trying to reorganize. They laid off a lot of people, which basically left the place in shambles, and the director resigned. So now the USPTO in Denver is closed. So that kind of closes off access to some people who used it for help, right? And this is at a time when trademark applications are at an all-time high. So we might see a further delay in trademark applications. Okay. All right. Wow. We got through all of that a lot quicker than I thought we would. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me this evening, for putting up with my shenanigans. If there are ever any stories that you want me to cover, please, please, please send them to my inbox as well. If you have any business questions, make sure that you book a free 15-minute consultation with me. All right. But I want you guys to take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful night, and I will see you next week. Bye. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm.